This week on the podcast, Carrie and I are talking about the 50th celebration coming to Walt Disney World later this year. And there was some excitement for Muppet fans. Do you know any? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Francine and you're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast, a podcast where our first topic of conversation will always be Disney. I've been a Disney fan for as long as I can remember, and I'm determined to bring more of that Disney magic into my everyday life. So if you need a little extra pixie dust in your day, you've come to the right place. Thanks so much for listening, and let's get started. Welcome to another episode of the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. What's going on, Carrie?
Just living the dream. Living the Muppet dream over here.
I had to mix it up. You know, the hi, Carrie. I had to throw in a what's going on.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be chatting with you today because we have some fun stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do.
It's been quite an eventful week of sorts.
Hallelujah to that, because it's been pretty dry the last little while.
It has been kind of dry in the Disney news and the Disney community for fun stuff. It's all been kind of not so fun, or rumors Nothing. Rumors and clickbait and stupid stories. Did you hear about some? I refused to even click on it, but I did see a headline about some woman who apparently tried to put an RFID chip in her hand. That now they have to put a thing on magic bands saying, "Don't try to install the chip." Like something and part of me saw it and thought, no, this is a hoax. And then literally started thinking, is it April Fool's? But yeah,
I saw it, but I didn't click through. I didn't care to read anymore. I wasn't surprised that somebody tried to do that. The thing I think is you don't want to wear a wristband, but I hate wearing those wristbands too. I love magic bands and the fact that they're fun and cute, and I like to collect them and I want them all, but I don't love wearing magic bands. And the first thing that came to my mind was but don't they give you the little screwdriver to take the dongle out, and then can't you put the dongle in your pocket, or don't they sell little clips or whatever?
Yeah, because the new magic bands, that part is detachable, right? You can take it out, you can put it in a keychain or whatever. You don't have to wear it as a wristband anymore. That's they're interchangeable.
Thought, but I didn't click through because I was like, I don't.
Oh no, I refuse to give traffic to this stuff. But then of course we're talking about it on the podcast because it's so ridiculous. But you wear a watch, don't you? Or do you not? You don't wear a watch.
No,
I'm trying to think. No, you don't.
No, I don't. Yeah, no.
So maybe that's why the magic band, I love having it on my wrist. I don't know why. I feel like it's a Disney accessory, I guess.
I don't know. I wear, I don't complain too much, but I don't love wearing them.
It's not your favorite thing. Mm-mm. What about a keychain? I wonder if when we finally get back, will you get one of the keychains or something?
Maybe. I love keychains, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. So the safest place is for it to be on my wrist. But I'm not forgetful. I know where everything is. If sometimes you put stuff in places and you can't remember where you put things. But generally, I'm the person that remembers where something is. I remember where every penny I have currently on me is. I don't stash things away. I have systems and I keep things fairly organized and in my brain as where they are. But on the opposite side, I am the person that arrives at a theme park and doesn't have a magic band and doesn't have any form of anything. So there's been a number of times where I've waited in line to get a key card,
a replacement key card or something.
You know how they give you the little they have the key to the world coming back now, but they would just give you the little tap card or whatever. I had to do that a few times, because you land, you check into your room and then you go to the parks and I don't have my magic band, so I have forgotten my magic band a few times. So. Yeah. And Disney World isn't so much synced with using your phone for your getting into the parks, right? Whereas Disneyland, at least you could use the app to get into the park and use the app to get the fast passes.
Yeah, because you don't forget your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think Walt Disney World is going more that
for sure,
route with the phones.
Absolutely.
Because
and I think
they have the door open. You can open your door with your phone. Remember,
since it's been a whole year since we've been there, I'm sure that some of this technology is now in place for more seamless use.
Can
of your
you imagine
smartphone.
how much testing and fun stuff we're going to have to do when we finally get there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be so fun. I don't know, but so for me, as soon as I land, or sometimes even before I leave home, I put my magic band on.
That's probably what I should do.
And it doesn't come off because it's waterproof. So
the funny part for me is like I've usually packed like 5 or 6 of them because I need to coordinate them with my outfits.
Exactly. And then I just leave it on until I get home.
Yeah, that's or for me maybe it's more buying. Like I never. Like, I don't have a favorite one. Like, I always just wear the different colors or whatever.
Yeah.
And I switch them out, and I have the odd different one. But maybe I just need... Because you have one that you wear exclusively because it's your favorite.
Well, I usually wear my Haunted Mansion one. Unless I'm going to be super stylish that day and try to coordinate my outfit colors. But that's usually not me. I'm not like
I've got a magic band in my car. I've got one on my where you change your gears because I think you never know, my car might just start driving one day and I'll have a magic band in case I need it.
In case you arrive.
So like I know where things are. I've got things in places where they need to be.
You have no annual pass to get in anymore.
But in the past, I was always ready just in case. Even like I said, I know where things are. Even my car was prepared for the situation. It's just that sometimes.
In case sometimes you just had to get in the car and drive.
But then sometimes I arrive at a theme park and I don't have admission. I don't have any media to get myself into the park. It's only happened a few times. I believe it's happened when I've been there with you. I know it's happened when I've been there with my friend Carol, maybe once or twice.
Yep, but I know it's happened. Yep. Yeah.
But beyond that, super duper organized.
Yeah, because you're so organized, but yet that is always an issue for you. It's too funny. Like, if you could just, maybe keychains. But honest to goodness, I always worried, like, if I had a keychain or something like that, I would lose it. Yeah. It would fall out of my pocket. I don't like having to stress about that stuff. So once it's on my wrist, it's just there for the week.
Gotcha. I'll follow your lead next time.
Well, hopefully we'll get there soon.
The topic of discussion for the podcast was not Carrie's inability to remember a magic band. We were supposed to talk about
the news.
The theme park news this week.
So the news this week was epic. So I don't know how anybody could be on any kind of social media and have missed it, but just in case you did, Disney has announced the 50th celebration coming to Walt Disney World October 1st. So it's so exciting. Walt Disney World opened on October 1st, 1971. So it's turning 50 this year, 50 and fabulous.
The big 5-0.
The big 5-0, and it's going to be a celebration like no other. And they didn't release a lot of details. They really didn't.
No. And I think there was some criticism probably about the few details they did release, but that doesn't matter because those of us that are desperate for any information,
we'll take it.
It made us very happy.
We'll cling on to it. We will examine those pictures and all of the details they gave us until the cows come home. And we'll debate it and we'll make hypotheses and we'll get excited. And that'll tide us over until they give us another tidbit.
We'll dream away.
We'll dream. So I think the biggest thing that I was super thrilled about was the length of the celebration. We were not sure if they were going to start the celebration a little early. So I think Disneyland's, you said they started it a couple of months in advance. Was that right?
Yeah, they started it in when they had the 24-hour day, which was, for some reason I was thinking it would have either the May long weekend or the February long weekend.
I feel like it was the May long
the May
weekend.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like their birthdays in July. So it wasn't that far in advance, but it was a little bit of a
couple of months
buffer.
Yeah. And we weren't sure if Walt Disney World was going to do the same thing. Like, would they start the celebrations in the summer or what that would look like? But they've confirmed that the celebration officially starts on October 1st.
Right.
And I'm happy about that because given the state of travel right now, I think it just gives more time for everything to get situated and sorted. But they've also confirmed that it's going to last for 18 months. How fantastic is that?
Well, we just hope that it's awesome, so awesome that we're glad that it's there for 18 months.
Why wouldn't it be awesome?
It will be. No, the Disneyland celebration for the 60th was totally awesome, and I'm sure maybe the people there were like, yeah, enough's enough. But it was so awesome. It was well worth the extended time. So I'm sure Disney World one will be Walt Disney World will be even better.
Yeah, because it's huge and it's the best. Huge. But I know that, so 18 months gives I had to say that. 18 months gives everyone a chance to get there, to experience some of it. And I think, when they started, remember when they did the Year of a Million Dreams? I can't remember what year that was, but what a celebration. But it was like the 2 years of 2 million dreams, because they really kept extending it, and it lasted like a long time. Yeah. So this one is 18 months. So exciting. And, we're just, so the morsels of information that they've given us are what they're going to do at the parks just for the beacons. They call them the beacons of magic at night. Ooh. I know. So they come up with the most descriptive words, right? So listen, so this is what they said. As part of the world's most magical celebration, icons at each Walt Disney World theme park will transform into magnificent beacons of magic at night, coming to life with their own iridescent glow. Now, I say it that way because...
What'd you say?
Iridescent. The ear is EAR. So they've got EAR as the iridescent glow. Get it?
I got it.
Let's hammer that one to death, right? So they have something special. I think it's really important to note, like, they're doing this celebration when in 1971, when the park first opened, Walt Disney World opened, there was the Magic Kingdom and a few resorts. Like, that was it. There was nothing, there was no Epcot, no Hollywood Studios, no Animal Kingdom. However, to celebrate the 50th, they are celebrating across the property. So all of the icons are going to be done up. So I guess we should talk about the first one. So Cinderella Castle will illuminate Magic Kingdom with a dazzling radiance that sparkles with pixie dust.
Sounds spiffy.
So I don't know what this is going to be. Based on the pictures, it looks like it's got some lights on it, but not the lights. Like, it's like pixie dust lights. It's not Christmas lights.
Right. So are those going to be lights, or will those be something new, like some new technology, or will it be, how they do the... Yeah. What do you call it?
The twinkling?
You're
waving your fingers at me that nobody can see.
Well, because I want you to think of the word for me. The people listening don't need to know that. The projections. That's the word I was trying to think of. The projections. Will it be projections? Will it be like some new crazy technology that makes it sparkle? Will it be lights? Will it be something else? Like, that's what kind of makes me wonder, like, well, because that's the different part, right? Like, they've lit up the castle with projections. They've put, like, the way that they ice the castle, like, Christmas time is, like, breathtaking.
So how are they going to top that?
So, is this something that's is it just going to be, exactly. How are they going to top it, or is it just going to be spectacular? They have to top it. It's the 50th. They're going to have to. And it looks like, based on the pictures, it looks like there's some extra gold on those turrets. Yeah, they've some sort of gold ribbon spirally things around the turrets. So. Yeah. So that's going to be, but not ribbon, like metal. They're metal, but they look like they're metal, but they're made to look like ribbons that kind of go around the spires. It's pretty, it's very pretty what they've done. And it looks like it's got a big 50 medallion on the front of the castle. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. So I think obviously the castle, it has to be spectacular. The next one that they talk about is Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park.
A warm light will emanate from the Tree of Life as magical fireflies gather to usher in the magic of nature.
Maybe that pixie dust and those fireflies will be the same new technology.
I think you might be right. So this one, I don't know how different it's going to be between like what they have now at the Tree of Life. You know, at the nighttime where they have the Tree of Life come to life. Come to life,
yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if this is going to be different.
It'll just be a different show, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be brighter or more glow, like it'll glow more.
Yeah.
You know, to fall with the theme, the style element of the castle.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. Carry on with the other ones.
Okay. The Hollywood Tower Hotel at Disney's Hollywood Studios will be awash in a brilliance evoking the golden age of imagination and adventure. This looks to me a little bit like what they did at Christmas time. But
I wonder, in which we are wondering with the Tree of Life, because they already do something similar. And in our brains right now, we're thinking, how would they make it different? But like the words that like making the brilliance. So, you know, maybe there's just something extra. There's something extra that will give it a different feel or a different look. Maybe not a different feel, but a different look, right? Maybe it'll be brighter or in a different, you know, I don't know. The Hollywood Studios Tower is pretty bright and brilliant and animated as it is when they light it up for the holidays. So, yeah, that one is interesting.
But I think the one that, you know, obviously I love the castle, but I think the one that I'm most excited to see in person, I think you are too, is at Epcot. Yeah. So the way they've described this is, at Epcot, new lights will shine across the reflective panels of Spaceship Earth, connecting to one another in a symbol of optimism resembling stars in a nighttime sky. The iconic structure's permanent new lighting will continue beyond the world's most magical celebration as a defining feature of the park. I am so excited about this.
I know, me too. I can't wait. That's the best part so far.
Yes. Well, with the new fountain and the lights that come out of that fountain in front of Spaceship Earth, I feel like putting these lights on it, Spaceship Earth is finally getting the symbol it deserves. Not a wand. Like, the wand was cute, but it was a bit cheesy, right? Like, I feel like this is doing the park justice.
Yeah. And I think, imagine these icons. So I think when I think of the other two that we're pondering about, like, we have visuals of what the castle and what Spaceship Earth will look like. So I think like that's what, like, I just see those other two things as like glowing and being brilliant and being able to see them from, like, you know, you see those icons from afar, but, you know, we'll see them, like, they'll glow and they'll just be,
they will.
Like, it's almost like the heavens will have opened and will be shining on these icons.
Do you think people can tell that we're super excited about this?
And we're just desperate for any information. Like, when we were wondering, like, when? Like, will we find out about it in the summertime? Will we find out about it sooner than later? Will it open early? Will we see merchandise early? Will we, like, what kind of snippets will we get? And we've been patiently waiting. So just a little bit of stuff. And maybe we won't hear anything for a long time now. But at least we have something to look forward to that's like factual.
It's so, and I think you're right. The merchandise, I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
it's
my favorite
wallet's
thing,
having a panic attack now.
My favorite thing was, because, you know, I think it's great they're doing it all the parks and doing those brilliant, spectacular, glittery icons. But it was the showing Mickey and Minnie in their outfits.
Yes.
In their iridescent outfits, and then wondering, like, what the other outfits are going to look like, because they're not just dressing up Mickey and Minnie. They're going to dress up the Fab Five with the same type of outfits. And then as soon as you're like, wow, those are beautiful, I love the colors, I love everything about them, then you start to think about the merchandise that will be available with this theming. T-shirts, stuffies, pins, jewelry. Yeah.
their new outfits are spectacular. So they showed us some pictures of both Mickey and Minnie in their new outfits. And I was worried that everything was going to be gold. And I got to admit, I'm not a fan of the rose gold, the golds, like the really glittery, sparkly stuff. But this is it's the perfect combination. They've got a little bit of gold, but not too much. And then it's kind of like blues and purples and pinks, and it's beautiful.
Really pretty.
It is. Their outfits, so their custom-made outfits are iridescent fabric, and then they call it punctuated with pops of gold. But they say that they include embroidered impression of Cinderella's castle, backed by fireworks, as well as a brocade in a multi-toned iridescent fabric.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
To see that detail, but
I know,
beautiful.
I know.
I love their gold shoes. I was like, oh my goodness.
I know.
I'm glad it isn't gold. Like we should be so grateful. We knew they made the spires that bright blue, and we were figuring that was because of the anniversary coming. They were making them, they were revitalizing the color and making them bright. But like they could have really just wrapped the whole castle in gold.
Yes. I know. And all their outfits could have been just gold. They could have looked like solid gold dancers. I'm so glad they decided not to go that route.
Maybe they like the with the 60th at Disneyland, like maybe because they had that blue and silver, and it was just a little bit like just the right amount of mix and color, and you know the little diamond that they had, like it just seemed right, and maybe they followed the same vein there, and instead of going all one color,
they decided to mix it up.
to kind of follow the same because it's blue and beautiful, and
the merchandise is going to be incredible.
Yeah, and the logo has the iridescence in it, like that's got in the 50s, so that's different, like totally different. But yeah, all the different colors in it allows for so much, right? Like it'll look nice on white, it'll be nice on black. It has all of the, depending on how you look at it, you see whatever colors you see, right? So
what T-shirts do you think they're going to come out with?
They'll have lots of T-shirts, hats,
oh my gosh,
mouse ears, like at the Disneyland 60th merchandise was so amazing, and I don't even know how many pieces of merchandise there were, hundreds, thousands, I don't know, but there was merchandise for 18 months or longer, however long that was, and it was amazing. Like it was just amazing. So I'm expecting that this merch will be amazing, and there'll be so much of it that we won't even know which way's up. We're gonna
but we have to remember too,
saving.
It's 18 months. So the Dooney they come out with October 1st might be different than the Dooney they come out with January 30th.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's always my issue is I start to panic about the stuff that comes out right away that, oh my gosh, I love it. And then they come out with something even better a little later. So I need to learn to pace myself. But I haven't been able to buy stuff for so long.
Well, hopefully they will, there usually is limited merchandise that once it's gone, it's gone, like pins and various things that are limited. But it would be neat if they did, at least for the first year, like limited things like every single month or two, like, because that's the beef with the collectors and people or people that just want something that never get to go there because it's all gone as soon as it comes out. Like if every month there was something special, or so if you're there you happen to get something. I don't like. They might not do that because of
Well, hopefully they figure out how to.
But ideally, that would be great.
I'm hoping they figure out how to deal with the resellers and things like that. The people that go in and buy up all the merchandise and then sell it on eBay at 3 times as much.
They just need to make it so that you can buy only 1 or 2 and not 8 or 10.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's hopefully, fingers crossed, because I think, who are we kidding? There's going to be plenty of merchandise for everybody, because there's going to be, like, this 50th stuff is going to be on everything. You're going to be able to get a Band-Aid with this on it. Like, it's going to be awesome.
Well, and I wonder, too, with maybe all along, the original plans were that it would start earlier, and then and with what's going on, October 1st for it to, because that's the birthday and that's when the anniversary and that's when it should start.
They couldn't start it
like
November
they couldn't
15th.
start it later. So, but I wonder too, like even if because things, like, I know they design things and they make things like way in advance, right? Like it's not like they're just trying to figure out what a t-shirt looks like right now. Like, I'm sure they've had logos and everything drawn and things designed for a long time, but maybe it'll take a bit longer for the merch to come out too. Like, I wonder if, you know what I mean? Like would it all be ready and available and shipped and on property by October 1st?
What does it mean for the holidays? So does this mean they're not going to have Halloween merchandise this year?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Exactly. So they're going to have to kind of pace it around the holidays. And so the decorations, when is the decorations going to start? Are they going to be mixed in? Like, is my first view of all this decorations going to be mixed in with Halloween stuff? You know that.
What happened that's the thing. When there was bigger celebrations before, there wouldn't have been, would there have been Christmas parties and Halloween parties and things like that?
Yeah, I think there were. I'm trying to remember. I mean, you know, it's hard to remember some of this stuff, but yes, I'm sure there was. Like, they're not going to skip out on a Halloween party or Christmas after hours ticketed event because, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But we have a trip planned to experience the 50th. Well, the first of many, I hope. So we have a trip planned for the second week in October. I don't have plans right now to be there on the 1st.
Never say never.
Because I don't know, Carrie, I'm so torn because I feel like it's going to be such a big day. I mean, it's going to be in all 4 parks, so they'll have celebrations at all 4, I think. But I don't know. I don't know that I want to do the crazy hoopla in the crowds.
I wouldn't mind being there, but really just for to feel the experience, like to feel that hoopla in the crowds. That's why I would actually want to be there. Like, I'm not.
You would, yeah. So I think, who knows? You're right. Never say never. It's quite possible that come, September 15th, I'm booking a flight and saying, okay, why don't we just go for the week? And we'll just go back a couple weeks later.
To feel the vibe and...
Well, if California is open, we could maybe go there first and then, do another coast to coast. Because that was fun. Okay, I think we've beaten the 50th to death. Are you? We're so excited, and I'm hoping everybody else is too.
Yep. Hope.
Now, there was some other excitement this week as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty sensational?
Oh, celebrational, you mean?
Celebrational.
Dare say inspirational?
That's it. Celebrational, inspirational.
Muppetational?
Yes. How exciting. Carrie.
It's very cool.
And
everything's a buzz. Everyone's excited about the Muppets, which makes me most excited.
So the Muppets came to Disney Plus. The Muppet Show. All 5 seasons are now available on Disney Plus for everyone to watch.
Yay!
And this was like the dream of all dreams for someone like you.
For Muppet lovers around the world, we have access to the Muppet Show, and it's like keeping the Muppets alive. Like, so many people don't know about those, or like they have no access to the Muppet Show. So I think a few things, like the Muppet Show, there's so many people that only know, like, younger generations that know the Muppets from the movies, and they probably think, like, what is up with this Gonzo guy? Why is Kermit? I don't like Miss Piggy. I think the Muppet Show will allow them to, see what the Muppets are really about and understand them.
What's up with this Gonzo guy?
Seriously, like a lot of people think the Muppets, younger generations may think the Muppets are weird or they don't even know them. So if they're at all,
So this gives them some insight into the life of the Muppets.
And little kids can watch it and they can just love Muppets from the start. And that's probably more so. Like, I'm sure the older people aren't going to probably even care about the Muppets if they don't like them. But these, like, people, like, our age people, their children they could have them watching the Muppets and they're just going to love them from the get-go. And it's like bringing another generation of me to this world. Another generation of Muppet lovers.
There's going to be more Muppet lovers.
People are going to make their children watch Muppets, and and the Muppets are still alive, and they're going to stay alive. Fun. That's my biggest fear, that the Muppets will go away.
No, I think the Muppets are here to stay. I think I will be honest. I was quite shocked at how many people I saw that were over the moon about this on Friday. And I like the Muppets. I'm happy about the Muppets. I know you love the Muppets, but I don't think I really got how many Muppet fans there are out there. This is like, people were going bananas.
And
on the day that this dropped. So the day for you, you were up early. Like very early
watching the Muppets just because I could. It was like, when you see the memes, it was where it
Christmas
says like
morning for you.
When you see the memes that say like going to work and like the snooze button is pressed like 10 times. Yeah. Those, I've seen those ones maybe on a Pixie Dust Pixie Dust fan website. But you're going to Magic Kingdom that morning and there's no snooze. You're up at 5:30. You're ready to go. You're sitting waiting with your shoes on for everybody else to get up. That was me on Muppet Day. I was watching Muppets like at 6:30 in the morning because I woke up and I'm like, it's time to get up. It's time to light the lights.
Now, so you did, I know you had it playing all day. I watched some of it, and I know in the future we're going to do a really in-depth Muppet Show. I think it's important. We should celebrate it, but we want to give ourselves time. Well, okay, fair is fair. You want to give me time to watch all the episodes because I did not have them running on loop all day. But some of these episodes were just hysterical, Carrie. Like, I forgot how funny Rolf was.
Mm-hmm. Rolf's the best.
So, like, the first episode when he's doing, what is it, the
Veterinarian's Hospital.
Oh my goodness. And it's supposed to be like one of those old, like it's got the slapstick humor, but it's also supposed to be like, remember the old, what did they call them? The daytime TV, like soap operas. And it's almost like The Young and the Restless, right? And
with the music playing.
And the music playing, and they're all looking up at the sky like, who's talking
wondering
now?
Who's talking?
Oh my goodness. I was howling watching that. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The characters are awesome, and having the musicians and the dancers and the actors and everything on, like, that's what makes it the variety show. But at its base, like those little skits with the Muppet characters, and even like the frogs and the monsters and the birds and the 7 foot tall, I guess they're monsters dancing around and whatever, like those skits where there's no celebrities at all.
Yeah,
are golden, and they're from the very first episode. Like, they're awesome from the get-go, and they stay awesome. I actually think I might even prefer the earlier episodes better than the later ones. Although I think as you go farther in, there's bigger stars or whatever on the episodes. But it's like, I think my favorite part has nothing to do with the celebrities. It's just everything about the Muppets and what they wanted to do and be funny and bring to life, and like, think of what they did. Like, that must have been, them putting all of those different scenes together with blue screens and they superimposing things and doing all kinds of wonky, crazy things and all of the sets and making monsters and making birds with 6 feet legs dancing with people and puppets and marionettes and stages where they're under, like, they have to, like, the stages were all high because they had to stand underneath them and put the Muppets and like everything they had to build and do to make that happen is unbelievable. Like,
and you can really see the character development if you go back and look at some of those early episodes. Piggy wasn't really mean. Right? Piggy wasn't.
She was just overprotective of her frog.
Yeah, but she was different. She looked a little different, and her attitude,
and if people watch the Muppet movies and wondered why is this pig and frog a thing, like, you can look back and see the story,
the evolution of their romance. It's so fun. And I did watch a couple. I kind of jumped around a little bit. Of course, I had to go watch Don Knotts because I just love him. And of course, I watched the first one. I think it was Rita Moreno that was in the first one. And, there's so many great stars that ended up being on the show. And I think we're going to have to go through and do some highlights of which ones our favorites are once we've had a chance to watch them all.
Yeah, I've watched quite a few of them.
Shocking.
Not all of them. There's so many of them, but I definitely did. Like, I watched the first season, like maybe half of it, and then I started like bopping around and watching different ones. Like the Vincent Price and the Alice Cooper ones are cool because they're just different. The feel of them is different. The Star Wars one is fun. I love the Christopher Reeves one because I love like Superman. Like when I was growing up, like Superman movies were it. The Rocky one, I watched the Rocky one. Like I was drawn at first to the ones that, like the pop culture icons that mattered to me when I was younger. Like
I forgot
Rocky,
Sylvester Stallone was on it.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone. And it's funny. Like, it's just funny because they have a scene when he's in a Roman Coliseum and he's fighting a lion, and him and the lion end up like boxing. It's just. It's so good. But yeah, like I'm trying to think. I love the Harry Belafonte one. That's probably one of my favorites. And the Elton John one. Like some of them, the music is amazing, and the performance, the dance, whatever they're doing is totally amazing too, which makes them, my favorites. But yeah, I've bopped around and watched ones that, some with comedians because I'm kind of interested to see.
Oh my gosh, Steve Martin.
See how the Steve Martin one. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, there's so many that I still need to watch again.
But it's so funny when you look back at how different celebrities are today. Like, can you imagine any of these big-time celebrities in 2021 being on a variety show and making fools of themselves like that? Right? Like, it's kind of cool to be on Saturday Night Live, but that's about the extent of it.
Well, and the thing is, too...
They wouldn't be dancing around with puppets.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not like it wasn't... That's exactly it. They're going on the show to be part of the Muppet Show.
Yes.
So, even when maybe the most serious person is singing a song, like a serious song or whatever. Like I love the what's her name? Anne Murray. I love the Anne Murray episode because they have this skit at the beginning with Piggy and her pig friends. They're on motorcycles, so it's all about them being hog wild and anyways, but she sings songs, like even when they sing a song that's supposed to that evokes like kindness or a message about, they're still singing that song with Muppets singing with them. Like there's a whole chorus of frogs like caroling along or whatever. So even the most popular song or the most emotional song or whatever, like they're everybody's singing along with them. So yeah, they're not just putting they really want to be on the Muppet Show, and it's not
it
just
was
them
a big
showing
honor.
off themselves.
It was a big honor back in the day for a celebrity to be invited on the Muppets. It became like a coveted spot. A celebrity wanted to be on the Muppets.
And the Muppet Show was filmed in England too, so
it's so fantastic.
Maybe like I don't. That's one thing I was wondering with like the guests because if it was in the UK, then the guests had to get over there. So I wonder.
Was it all filmed in the UK?
Yep.
Oh wow! See, this is why we need to do a whole show on the Muppet Show so that you can give us some of these, backstage tidbits that we didn't know.
Maybe we need to find a Muppet expert.
I think that's
to come on the show. Does anybody know one?
I think
no,
that's
I'm not
you.
A Muppet expert.
Well, maybe we'll have to find. Yeah, maybe if somebody has a Muppet expert, we could pair up with my Muppet expert, you. We could totally do one, and I think we should do one where you're giving us your top 5. Like, if somebody's got time to watch 5 Muppet episodes, which ones should they watch?
I think that's impossible because I think
it's a homework assignment for us to come up with at least
10.
A top. Oh my gosh.
25.
Well, okay, so we'll work out the details. We'll work out the details on this, but it's very exciting that the Muppet Show is out on Disney Plus.
So.
I'm very happy for you and sad for the Golden Girls because it sounds like they're being bumped from your background watching. You're just going to have the Muppet Show on loop for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
The Golden Girls are still...
They're still up there.
Yeah. They're supposed to be coming to
Disney Plus too, right?
Like, to Disney Plus to Stars, so...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait because there's and we have to do some more research on this, but the stuff that's coming to Disney Plus that they're bundling with is going to be pretty pretty epic.
Yeah. I don't know if it's across the board, because in the U.S. and different parts of the world, people have access to Hulu, right? And we don't have access to Hulu. So I guess, but Stars is something that's coming, that's for everybody, I think. Like, I think, like, regardless of where you are.
Is it in the UK too?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to look. We'll have to look and see, because as you know, when you look at our insights on the podcast, we have listeners
all over
everywhere.
the place.
It's crazy to see, Carrie, how many people we have listening around the world. So thank you to you listening everywhere. It's fantastic, and
probably a lot of them are Muppet lovers, because the Muppets was broadcast in 100 countries back in the day, because it was so popular, because it was the best show on earth.
When we look at that and we see like a new country pop up or things like that on our listener scale, and we'll attribute that to the Muppet lovers.
Probably.
That's what it is.
Really, let's be real. It's probably because they're like, that girl talks about the Muppets all the time.
Well, we'd love to hear from all of these people. The best way that these guys can support us, again, is to leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts. Tell your friends, share the podcast with others. And I would love to hear from people on Facebook, or send us an email where you're listening from. Tag us on Instagram. Show us where and how you're listening to the podcast, and tell us if, like, are you listening because you love Muppets and cats, or are you listening for Disney stuff? We'd love to hear what your favorite parts are. It's so fun. Okay, Carrie. Yeah. So at the end of every podcast, again, it's that time where we focus on the happy, the things that brought us joy. What is your pixie dust of the week that made you smile?
Well, of course, it's the Muppets, and I'm just going to say right now that I think that I can use that Muppets for a couple of pixie dust. Can I?
How many weeks are we? I think we got to cap it at like 3 weeks of pixie dust, or 2.
Give me 4.
Maybe 2. No, I think you can use it maybe for 2 weeks. You could stretch it to 3. Okay. But you can't have the Muppets as your pixie dust for, well, I know you're going to have it on loop for months to come. That's what brought you pixie dust this week? That was your big pixie dust.
It did, but I also, last night I was shopping, because I haven't left the house very much lately, because we've been under a lockdown, and I've taken it very seriously.
I know.
I think I've left the house twice in the last 21 days. Or 22 days, whatever day it is. And we went shopping, and I was at the Walmart, because when you're out, you might as well go to a few places. And I'm actually, as a crafter, there's certain craft supplies that are hard to find, like trying to find like double-sided tape for scrapbooking or crafting, or like foam tape. Like I like to buy like a roll of tape that's like that's foam that you use for whatever. Anyways, can't find it anywhere. Like you go to the dollar stores, it just seems to be like, I think all the crafters are like stockpiling in case they're locked in their house for 21 days and aren't going out, right? So I didn't find my foam tape that I've been looking for. So I found this really cool stamping tool last night, and I was so delighted by it. Like I'm going down to my craft room after we're done recording, and I'm gonna play with it. So it's this. So
and
when
it
you
stamps, paper.
So it doesn't. You buy all kinds of acrylic stamps for making cards or whatever, and they're just plastic pieces of stamp, and you put them onto a stamping block, and then you stamp them, you ink them, and then you stamp them. So when you're doing something that's a bigger stamp, it's got lots of detail. Like when you stamp something, if you've missed an area, then it's really hard to put it back. Like it's almost impossible to restamp it to like match the part that you've missed. So you pretty much have to stamp perfect the first time, or you're done. You have to restamp it. So this is it's like a block. It's like a base, and it's got like a glass panel on hinges. So you put your stamp on the glass panel, and then you ink it, and then you pull it down onto your paper, because it's on the board, and it's a foam board, which foam is good because then it allows the paper to have a little bit of flex, so that it gets good coverage. Right. So you pull it down, and if you miss something, you'd pull it up, stamp it again, and then put it back down.
Because it's in the same spot.
Because it's in the same spot.
It's almost like one of those T-shirt like, presses or
exactly,
something that you see where
it's like
they
a
pull
press,
it down.
Pretty much.
Got
yeah,
it.
Exactly the same thing. So I thought that I had to like maybe get it at a fancy-dancy scrapbooking store. And when I was looking for my tape, I was like, qu'est-ce que c'est? What is this? And it was $20. And
that's a good deal.
It's I don't know, like maybe it's priced more than it should be, or maybe it was a smoking deal. I have no idea. I was just excited to see one because my aunt has one, and I was kind of on my list of something I wanted to buy, but like it was like I kept forgetting about it, and I wasn't gonna like order it somewhere special. And then lo and behold, it was there in the scrapbook aisle at Walmart, and I was pretty excited. So as soon as we're done,
that's what you're doing.
Going to the craft lab, unboxing that baby, and I'm gonna give her a whirl. So.
See, now that was good my pixie dust.
What's your pixie dust?
That's very good pixie dust. Mine is, so I've been debating for a long time because I know you don't have cable. I've been debating for a long time getting rid of my cable because really all I watch is like Coronation Street and a couple of like, TV shows. But now I heard there's a new show coming out that I'm going to have to watch. It's a new spin-off of Law and Order. And I know they've had 72 spin-offs, but this one is called Law and Order Organized Crime. And not that I'm interested in organized crime at all. What I am interested in is the fact that the person who is going to be starring in this show is none other than the man who played Elliot Stabler in Law and Order SVU when it first started. So they're saying it's time to welcome back Detective Elliot Stabler to the NYPD. That's right. Nearly 10 years after the beloved character departed the Special Victims Unit, Elliot Stabler is officially returning for his own spin-off. I'm so excited. Like, I just loved it. You know when you were young and you had like a vision board of your future, and I think Elliot Stabler was one of my he might have been one of my vision board pictures for my perfect husband.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm very excited. So apparently I think it's starting in March. But I don't know if they have like an official date yet, but I will keep checking.
Keep us posted. And Law and Order was one of those things like years ago having cable that you could always depend on Law and Order.
Yes.
Like, and I don't know that there was really anything. I don't like now you can turn on like TBS, or I guess I haven't had cable for a long time, so I could be wrong. But you turn on like channel, if that channel even exists now, and like 24 hours a day you can watch The Big Bang Theory, or or it used to be Friends, right? Like Friends used to be on all the time.
On repeat, yeah.
But like, I don't know, like it wasn't always that way where you could have access to a show over and over and over again, or watch it, every single day on a regular schedule, other than like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. But Law and Order was that for us. Like we knew we could depend on Law and Order. If cable gave us one thing, it gave us Law and Order whenever we needed to watch it. Like Law and Order was that show that was always on late at night, probably earlier in the evening. And there was like 5,000 episodes of it. So even if you watched it all the time, there was always something.
And they always did such good crossovers with them. Like crossovers between the branches of Law and Order.
Yeah. So it was good.
That's how they're
probably
kicking.
Watch that.
That's how they're kicking this one off. Apparently, it's reuniting Stabler and
back?
Benson. Well, no, because SVU's still going on, right? It's still going on, and Olivia's Olivia's like the chief. And they still have.
She's been around for a long time.
Exactly. They still have Tutuola, like Finn's still there. So apparently this crossover is going to happen where, this is Stabler is coming in with Benson.
Wow.
And that's how they're going to introduce the new show. So very exciting. Stay tuned for more.
So I didn't realize it was still on. Like I was speaking of like even back when like it's always been in repeats and always been on television. I didn't realize.
No, there's still new episodes. Yeah. Still new. Yeah, I'm never giving up my cable. All right.
Some days I do miss cable. I just miss like just watching whatever's on because you have no choice. Whatever's the best option is what you watch.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can just search for all of eternity across YouTube and all of your streaming devices, channels. And then in the end, really don't decide on anything because you've spent an hour and a half
searching,
looking for something, and then you just give up. Or you go back and watch what you usually watch every day on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have so much TV and programming accessible, and yet some nights I sit on the couch and I just want to zone out, and I put on the Golden Girls that I've seen 100 times. So it's funny. We have so much variety, and yet sometimes you just go back to the stuff you love.
Yep.
Cool. Well, Carrie, always a pleasure. Always fun chatting with you. And thank you to everyone listening. Make sure that you tell people about us, and reach out to us and let us know where you're listening to us from. And thank you again. And until next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.